Yo, it's your boy Lynx, back at it again with another video, and today we're going to tackle a very disturbing recent turn of events that involve a Twitch streamer and her experience of sexual assault at TwitchCon, and I hope this story can stand as a reminder to not worship these clout-chasing demons who will turn around and abuse whoever they feel like they can get away with abusing the moment they have even a hint of fame. So stay tuned and leave a comment if you've heard about this story and would like me to cover more events like this in the future. I'm going to start off by reading the tweets that kind of brought this whole situation to light that were posted by Zenith herself on her Twitter page. I was IRL streaming Sunday after TwitchCon when I met up with SystemZake. At one point, he rested his head on my chest, then proceeded to motorboat me. After that, he said, "Chat, look at her face," then grabbed my ass and said, "They don't know what happened." Now, I'm going to put a quick content warning right here as I'm going to play the video in its entirety, and I'm going to post a timestamp so that you can skip it if you don't want to watch it. But I do think that it's very important for you, the audience, to see and hear with your own eyes just what sexual assault looks like.
Early. Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Okay, let's find where we're going.
All right.
I have to move on from that, or I'm gonna die.
Bet.
All right. Please. This way, and then left.
Bet. Yo, Seki, my man. Oh my fucking gosh. The Seki just complimented this motherfucker.
It's a different thing. That's a whole different thing.
Right.
I got the perfect idea.
Okay.
I want you to stare right at the chat, all right? Chat, look at her face, okay? Look at her face.
Yeah.
Look at her face.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
You're just saying wow. They don't know what happened.
Yeah, they don't know what happened.
I think the most disturbing part of this video for me is the fact that this guy seems completely aware that what he's doing is wrong, and he also seems to be premeditating his action. He knows that chat can't see below the waistline, and he uses this opportunity to preemptively, wink and nudge at chat by telling them to look for the expression on her face for what he's about to do, and then proceeds to assault her, and then immediately after he brags about what he just did, and to her face in front of a live audience of people he knows is watching her content. This is nothing less than sexual sadism. It is disgusting, and it is beyond reprehensible. Now I'm going to continue by reading some posts in the thread underneath this original tweet by Zenith herself, as I feel like it gives some good insight into this situation. I wasn't going to post about it, but this shit makes me feel absolutely disgusting. I've had this on my mind for 3 days now and just can't forget it. This was all within an hour of meeting each other too. This is not okay, man. I think this is an important tweet to highlight as it shows just how damaging the mental effects of sexual assault can be on a person's well-being. I mean, within context of everyday to-day life, this was a coworker in her industry who she was collaborating with for a chance to advance her career, to put food on her table. And instead of having a professional interaction, she walks away with being physically violated, and her experience laughed at by people in his community and her community. Speaking of this being her source of income, I feel like this next tweet by Zenith also highlights something very important to talk about. Also, in case anybody tries to defend him because I was laughing, no, laughing is one of the biggest defense mechanisms. At that moment, I had no clue how to react. I dissociated and went into an autopilot mode. Literally, couldn't even believe this shit really happened. I feel like this is a very important tweet to highlight as it reminds us of how intricate the physical confrontations between men and women can really be. I feel like it's very easy to be a man and not have to really think about what happens if another person violates your physical boundaries. I think most men are pretty well equipped to defend themselves in the case of somebody physically harassing them, or at least in terms of average every day-to-day interactions. You know, these are just situations that most men usually don't have to think about. That being said, I feel like we need to have some understanding when we're talking about the experiences of women, as women are simply not as physically equipped as men are with dealing with these types of situations, especially if the attacker in question is a man. So I think it can be a little bit unreasonable to expect a woman who is not only worrying about her career as a performer while she's being assaulted on camera, but, you know, her safety as a woman who is now in a situation where a man has shown that they have a complete disregard for her physical well-being and is willing to escalate to physically assault her. So I think this is a very important thing to keep note of when we're analyzing situations like this. And finally, I think these last two tweets by Zenith are very well put and speak for themselves. On top of this, I'm disappointed in the people who were present in my chat at this time saying, "My man Zake! Lamau, did Zake just cop a feel?" And honestly, I can't blame him. Yes, he committed a crime on my live stream. He did that. In all, I'm speaking up because nobody should have to go through this. I trusted this man enough to meet up with him in person, and he violated not only my trust, but my boundaries. I'm sorry to other women who've gone through this. This is something that shouldn't have to be worried about, but we do. I think Zenith really hit the nail on the head with these last two tweets. I think it encapsulates my biggest concerns with this story. The fact that not only did his fans, but people in her own chat were cheering on as they seemed aware of the fact that she was being violated live on camera, and that this is a fear that shouldn't have to be worried about by a woman who's simply trying to build a career in an industry of her choosing. Yet this is the reality that many women face across many industries, not just Twitch and the entertainment industry, but hell, even women in their day-to-day lives are questioning whether or not they can trust men that they might want to be interested in collaborating with or meeting with or going on a date with. But at the back of their mind, they have to think, can I be safe around this individual, or are they going to assault me or worse? Now that we're done with the meat and potatoes of this video, I'd like to maybe brighten up your day, because it sure brightened up my day to see the fallout of this situation onto SystemZake's career. I will now read an apology tweet by SystemZake himself, and you can be the judge of if you believe him or not. As some of you may already know, I made a huge mistake Sunday evening. I turned what was supposed to be a fun evening into a now painful and harrowing experience for a fellow Twitch streamer. I crossed the line. I understand the full severity of my actions, and I am ashamed and truly and deeply sorry. Words cannot express my full regret, especially considering the impact I have had on this streamer's life. Furthermore, I once again not only want to apologize to her, but also to her fans, to anyone who witnessed my behavior, to all who was found in a similar position to her, and to my own friends and fans. This is not the person I want to be, and this is not an example of acceptable behavior from anyone. There is no way to take back my actions, regardless of context. You cannot make light of my behavior and my disregard for boundaries and trust. This is a huge wake-up call for me, and I want to take accountability for my awful actions and decisions. I will no longer be drinking, and I will be seeking counseling. I will commit to making sure that I never repeat the same mistakes that I have on that day. I will also be respecting her wishes and cease any communications I have with her. I respect all those who make the decision to step away from associating with me at this time. I think for me, the only thing this tweet does is confirm just how despicable this guy really is. this guy was absolutely aware that what he was doing was wrong. If not for the fact that he was called out with video evidence, there's absolutely no way that he would have even written this apology. Only reason he made this video is because he was called out with the proof on hand, and this is his last-ditch attempt to save some face so that he might be able to make a comeback at some point. I just wish that this clown had even half the empathy that he pretends to showcase in this tweet when he was violating this woman on camera and laughing and bragging about it to an audience of viewers. Thankfully, as of recording, SystemZake has had his Twitch account banned, and it looks like his YouTube has been deleted, so at least he won't be growing an audience or making money off of his content anytime soon, and hopefully he is never allowed to grow a platform, as we've seen just how brazen this guy can get with even just a little bit of clout. I mean, you gotta remember, this guy had less than 3,000 subs. He wasn't exactly a big fish, but I mean, still, that was enough to give him the courage of Donald Trump in 2016 and, just really go out and grab what's not being offered to him. So, moral of the story is be careful with who you associate with, and remember to be mindful and respectful of individuals' boundaries. On one hand, I want situations like this to stop, but on the other hand, it's almost nice to see that these guys are so fucking stupid and lack such self-preservation skills that they're literally committing their crimes live on camera. So it does make it easier to spot, but it also can muddy up the waters when things aren't as obvious, and we kind of take it for granted just how smart and dangerous some of these individuals can be. There are probably other creators who act in such a manner, but the cameras aren't on when they're preying upon people who are helpless to stop them. And with that, I think it's time to end the video. Leave a like and drop a comment down below if you have anything to add, or if you have any other situations you would like me to cover. Hopefully next time I can cover something a little bit more lighthearted. Stay safe and remember to keep your fucking hands to yourself. Peace.